All right, welcome to 49ers Live tonight. Professor B here at the Satellite Digital Media Studios here in San Francisco on this Tuesday night. We're right now we're only 8:56, 4 minutes before the top of the hour of 9 o'clock. We're just gonna give you an update what's going on with the 49ers, what's been going on throughout the day. Of course, the Niners officially put both Christian McCaffrey and Jordan Mason on the injured reserve. McCaffrey suffering that PCL sprain Sunday night up in Buffalo. Then it was Jordan Mason with the high knee sprain. So it looks like their season's over. And then this is now for the 49ers. This is their normal off day. This is like their normal off day on Tuesday. So they'll get back to work tomorrow as they get ready to play the Chicago Bears and try to end this 3-game losing streak as the Niners are sitting now at 5-7. And this is the first time, so the Niners injuries they just been so decimated, this roster, a team that, coming off that Super Bowl loss, and now is probably not going to be their year. And so we just take some of these roster moves. So the Niners early in the day, they end up taking a look of who they picked up off of some roster transactions earlier in the day. The Niners end up claiming running back Israel Adkinada off the waiver wire from the New York Jets. And they now officially, of course, they placed McCaffrey on injured reserve. They re-signed Ronnie Bell to the team's practice squad. And then for Adkinada, he had 22 carries for 70 yards, 7 receptions for the 22-year-old from Brooklyn, New York. He played at the university. He was also a first-team All-ACC with his time for the University of Pittsburgh. And then for Christian McCaffrey, for his final numbers in this injured, shortened season, he ended up getting 50 carries for 202 yards on 50 carries. And then he averaged 4.4 yards per carry, and they had 146 yards in receptions, 15 catches, 7.9 yards per catch. So if you add all his totals for all-purpose yards, he ended up in the short year only 348 all-purpose yards, and with 65 touches, he averaged 5.3 yards per touch. So that's how it was for his season. And then for Jordan Mason, so I'm just taking a look. Okay. And taking a look of okay, so then yeah, so they'll with Jordan Mason when he get eventually he'll get put on. So that's how the story has been for the entire year. And then so the injury report overall for Week 13: Aaron Banks concussion, Nick Bosa hip and oblique, Jordan Elliott concussion, Demetrius Flankenfoles knee, Domino Lanier knee, and then Trent Williams, of course, the ankle. Plus, of course, he lost his twin, one of the twins, more recently. Dre Greenlaw going on strongly. When he'll probably be able to be activated, probably should be activated for the Rams 1 week from next Thursday night. Then that is pretty much how it. That's how it went. So that's the injury line. And then you just look at the Isaac Rondo, his first career start at running back, and the last time he started a game was back in a bowl game when he was at Louisville taking on USC in his final collegiate game. And then the 49ers have thrown the fewest screen passes in the NFL, 13. Or Brock Purdy throwing the fewest screen passes in football. And then you look at the injury with Brandon Ayuk's holdout. Got there late and then tears his ACL. And then, of course, the Niners will be adding more players to the roster tomorrow. So check out all the news and all that on 49ers.com. And we'll be giving you the updates. This week we get ready to prepare. Niners prepared for the Chicago Bears. We'll try to get somebody to come on for our podcast later this week. So we're going to take this time out. And our next segment, we're going to go back 49ers flashback from the year 1989, celebrating the 35-year anniversary of the 1989 Super Bowl season. Niners are now in week number 13 as they are traveling down to the south to take on the Atlanta Falcons in Atlanta. So I hope we'll take this time out and then we'll show you that clip. So we'll just take this brief time out.
But it was only a slim one thanks to another strong effort from the 49er defense. While number 42 Ronnie Lott and the rest of the defense stopped the Falcons cold, quarterback Steve Young lit the fuse for a sizzling third period, completing 10 consecutive passes, including the game-winning touchdown to John Taylor. Young ran for another score to clinch the victory, setting the stage for a prime duel with San Francisco's arch rivals. The stakes were clear. Beat LA and the Niners would clinch the
All right, that was a. There we go. That was another flashback. The Niners ended up playing the previous game when the Niners played the Falcons. They won decisively 21-10. Or the previous game they wiped them out back in week 10 with a convincing 45-3 win over the Falcons. And now in the rematch, the Niners played the Falcons must have played them much better in this game, and the Niners beat the Falcons 23-10. And we will. So we will show you the highlight or the from the '89 regular season. The Niners went up winning 23-10. The game was on from December 3rd, 1989. This was a game was played down at Atlanta Fulton County Stadium, known as the Homer launching pad when the Braves back in the day played at Fulton County Stadium when the balls used to jump out during the summertime. 10 a.m. was the kickoff time at 10 o'clock in the morning Pacific Standard Time. The game time temperature 39 degrees, winds 8 miles per hour, wind chill factor 30 degrees. So, and then the attendance of this game 43,128. Once again, 43,128, 43,128 was the attendance. So once again, the Falcons had, looks like that game was blacked out because it was not sold out in time. And let me just educate the young generation. There was a rule back then: if the home team's games was not sold out within, I think, 48 or through 72 hours before the game, that game was blacked out locally in that area. That game would be blacked out, and you were only able to see the game on TV. So that was how it went. Gene Barth was the game referee, and then the announcers of the game on CBS was J.B. James Brown, and then handling the color commentating, former Oakland Raider great, former Super Bowl champion, the late Ken Stabler, known as the Snake, with the color commentary. So let's take you to the game highlights. In the first quarter, Mike Hofer hit a 35-yard field goal, a pair of field goals to be exact, a 35-yard field goal that made it 3-0 49ers. And then he hit a 23-yard field goal that made it 6-0. And then More importantly, they maintain the top. Yeah, so we have some technical difficulties, so we're just going to have to give you this on audio for now until we get our technical difficulties back. So take a look at week number 13 in the NFL. Just give it a moment. So we're having a little technical problems with our. Yep. Just trying to get rid of this. Okay, so we'll. Okay. Okay. So we're having some technical problems. We're trying to get that thing fixed. So with the scoreboard one from. All right, so we're just gonna having technical problems trying to pull that rolling up. So we are going to just give you the full off the computer on my rolling screen. Apologize for the inconvenience. So it'll be week from 1989. So apologize for the technical difficulties. So that'll be week 13 around the National Football League. Let's give you the scores of what was going on that Sunday 35 years ago, from Sunday, December 3rd, 1989. The Philadelphia Eagles and the New York Giants battling out for showdown for first place in the NFC East. And the Giants, the Eagles came into this game with a trailing the Giants by one game. For the Giants, they can increase their lead. They'll have a 2-game lead with a win, and the Eagles would go on to beat the Giants 24-17 as it was one of those games. Andrew Toney for the Eagles, 22 carries for 68 yards. Leading the way for the Eagles in the receiving department, Keith Jackson, 5 catches for 97 yards. Lionel Manuel led the Giants, 4 catches for 126 yards in the losing effort. So with the loss, the Giants fall to 9-4. The Eagles improved to 9-4, and the Eagles, who already had beaten them, end up completing the season sweep over the Giants for the second straight year. They now move into a virtual tie for first place, but the Eagles, by virtue of beating the Giants twice, would be in first place because of the tiebreaker procedure. So that's a big divisional win for the Eagles, a huge loss for the Giants. The Eagles at 9-4, tied for the best record. The Niners, with their victory, maintain a 2-game lead over both the Giants and the Eagles for the overall top spot in the NFC. And then other games, rivalry weekend, as you say, the Battle of Ohio, the defending AFC champion Cincinnati Bengals shut out the Cleveland Browns 21-0 as Boomer Esiason threw for 197 yards, 2 interceptions, and 2 touchdown passes for the Bengals. And then it was Tim McGee led the Bengals, 4 catches for 94 yards. So with the win, the Bengals improved their record to 7-6, while the Browns fall to 7-5-1. So their lead for the division lead is only just a half game. Packers over the Buccaneers 17-16. The Magic Man Don Majkowski threw for 331 yards, 2 touchdown passes. Vinny Testaverde, the former Heisman Trophy winner, threw 5 interceptions in the game. Sterling Sharp led the Packers, 8 catches, 169 yards, 2 touchdown receptions. Mark Carrier, the former USC standout at receiver, 7 catches for 104 yards. Bengals improved their record to 8-5, while the Buccaneers fall to 5-8. And then the Houston Oilers complete the season sweep over the Pittsburgh Steelers in snowy Three River Stadium in Pittsburgh, 23-16 the final score, as Lorenzo White rushed for 23 carries, 115 yards, and a touchdown. Tim Worley, 18 carries for 103 yards. And Drew Hill led the Oilers, 4 catches for 56 yards and a touchdown. Merle Hodge, 3 catches for 22 yards. Oilers with the win improved their record to 8-5, while the Steelers fall to 6-7. Then it was the Patriots over the Colts at Foxborough at Sullivan Stadium, 22-16. As former Raider Eric Dickerson, 24 carries for 180 yards. John Stevens, 27 carries, 124 yards, and a touchdown. So the Colts they fall to 6-7. The Patriots improved to 5-8. Then it was the Rams equaling by the Cowboys in Big D, 35-31. Jim Everett threw for 341 yards, threw 4 touchdown passes. And Aaron Cox for the Rams, 5 catches for 103 yards and 2 touchdowns. With the win, the Rams improved their record to 9-4. Dallas falls to 1-12. The Niners, by virtue of their win, they maintain a 2-game lead ahead of the Rams for first place in the NFC West, which, by the way, next week when we do our 49ers 35-year flashback of the 1989 season, we'll go in depth, way deep in depth of that Niner-Rams game on that Monday night. The Chiefs over the Dolphins 26-21 at Arrowhead Stadium. And Christian Okoye, the Nigerian Nightmare, 32 carries for 148 yards and a touchdown. Mark Clayton, 9 catches for 228 yards and a touchdown. Stephon Page, the veteran, 7 catches for 133 yards and a touchdown. So the Dolphins improve to 7-6. The Chiefs, or they fall to 7-6. The Chiefs fall to 6-1. Then it was the Detroit Lions over the New Orleans Saints at the Pontiac Silverdome, 21-14. Rookie Barry Sanders rushed for 72 yards and a touchdown. And then, of course, the Niners were winners, 23-10 over the Falcons. The Jets over the Chargers, 20-17. Both the Jets go up to 4-9. The Chargers fall to 4-9. Then it was the Washington Redskins over the Phoenix Cardinals, 29-10. As Ernest Byner had 86 yards rushing and a touchdown. Art Monk, 6 catches for 45 yards. Roy Green, most underrated Cardinal of all time, 8 catches for 116 yards. Then it was the Raiders in a must-win game. Get back over 500 with a 16-13 win over the Denver Broncos with the best record in the AFC. Bo Jackson, or I should say, it was not too much out there at the LA Coliseum. It was Steve Burley threw for 200 yards and a touchdown. And then Bobby Humphrey, 31 carries for 125 yards. He had 5 more, caught 5 balls for 45 yards. So the Raiders improved to 7-6. The Broncos fall to 10-3. Vikings over the Bears, 27-16. And the Bears fall to 6-7. The Vikings go to 8-5. And then on Monday night, it was the Seahawks, the defending AFC